A big announcement was made for the future of Lynked. Game Informer has made its grand return, and the final direct for the Nintendo Switch system took place and gave us some shocking news. All this and more today. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, bringing you the latest gaming news with Sunnyside Up. Today is March 31st, 2025, so let's get started with our first major headline. Lynked Banner of the Spark announced that it will be launching into 1.0 and onto consoles sooner than you might think. At the recent Dreamhaven showcase, players were treated to a look at the latest Buddy Up update for this early access title, which introduced a really fun cooking system, combat companions to join you in battle, and so much more. However, we were also surprised with the game's official launch date, which is May 22nd. The 1.0 version will introduce 5 new chapters that will expand the story with 40 additional missions. There will also be new weapon mods available, fresh enemy types to encounter, and a special 10-part side quest aptly named Banner of the Spark. All this new content will be available at launch, which has been confirmed on Xbox and PlayStation. I personally love how this game combines elements from different genres, the cozy town building and life simulation elements, alongside the arcade-style combat runs. It's been a joy to explore this game on my own and with many of you, so I can't wait to follow it into 1.0 and enjoy it on PlayStation. Hello Kitty Island Adventure released the game's physical deluxe edition exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. If you want your shelf to get super cuter, you can pick up this edition at your local retailer, and it even comes packed with a special illustrated fold-out map and splash art poster. I personally would love to add this one to my collection, however I am still holding out hope that they might offer a physical edition for PlayStation once its timed exclusivity deal with the Switch is over, so I'm going to hold out for just a little while longer. However, I highly encourage you all to go for physical game editions whenever you can, so that you can feel more confident in owning your games instead of just owning licenses to play them like you would with a digital edition of any game. The Color Blaze Carnival event has also kicked off in Hello Kitty Island Adventure and will be running until April 13th. During this time, you can complete activities that Pokecho sets up for you, which will reward you with color powder. You can then trade this resource for special event items at the Color Blaze Carnival stand, and there are also the usual daily login rewards available for this event. As a reminder, the Springtime Celebration event is still ongoing, and you have until April 8th to complete and collect the special event-related activities and items. I personally have put a pin in my Hello Kitty Island Adventures for the time being, but I have plans to dive back in once I can enjoy it on PS5. Now it's time for our next major headline. Game Informer is officially back. After 3 decades of consistent video game coverage that shaped and influenced what gaming media would later become, Game Informer shut down last summer. This was a huge loss to the media industry and to gamers everywhere, with the termination of physical Game Informer magazines and the organization entirely. However, against all odds, it's back after being purchased and revived. And not only has the entire catalog and regular coverage returned, but also its entire team, who will remain an independent editorial outlet without any influence from their new owners or anyone else. The publishing of new print issues will resume sometime in the near future, with the team intending to bring back the magazine bigger and better than it was before. I will have the editor's official letter linked in the description if you're interested in reading more. I personally was really sad when the magazine was terminated last summer because I really appreciate and value that physical media. I always purchase my games physical when I can. I also like to own physical books and even my favorite movies as some examples. This is for many reasons, such as being able to own and revisit my favorites without relying on a streaming service and an internet connection, or trusting that the license I've purchased for a game will never be revoked from my account. I also really like being able to share media with others, so lending out games or passing them on or trading them in when I'm done with them. So again, losing such an iconic gaming magazine was no easy pill to swallow for someone like myself, along with thousands and thousands of other fans. So of course it warms my heart to see it restored and back in action. I definitely wish the team the best moving forward. The final direct for the Nintendo Switch took place and honestly had quite a number of exciting announcements to share, which I don't think many of us were expecting. There was most likely something for almost everyone at this presentation, but here were my personal highlights. First, Disney Villains Cursed Cafe was announced, stirring up a fresh take on iconic Disney villains in a rich visual novel format. Step into a world where every cup holds a secret and every sip can change destiny. As the newest potionista at the Cursed Cafe, you'll create enchanted blends for a cast of legendary characters in a reimagined modern world. Disney Villains Cursed Cafe is out now as a surprise release. It's available on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. The other announcement that stood out to me was Tamagotchi Plaza, the latest title in the Corner Shop series. And admittedly, I do wish they put a bit more polish and quality into this one, but I grew up playing so much Tamagotchi Corner Shop that I can't help but feel just a little excited for this new title. It's definitely a little bit of the nostalgia talking. In Tamagotchi Plaza, you'll be tasked with enhancing the reputation of 12 types of shops, including a dentist, an eyewear shop, afternoon tea shop, and more. As the shop's reputation improves, the shops themselves will grow, along with the variety of orders placed by special Tamagotchi visitors. The game will be releasing as a Nintendo Switch console exclusive on June 27th and will offer an offline 2-player mode in certain shops. I also want to give a little shout out to Luz Lagoon, which was highlighted in one of the direct sizzle reels. This included some never-before-seen gameplay footage, along with an announcement that it will be releasing sometime this summer on the Nintendo Switch, in addition to PC via Steam. However, the most exciting announcement and biggest shock for me deserves its own spotlight in today's episode. So, now it's time for our final major headline. After close to a decade of development time, long periods of radio silence, and feelings of uncertainty from fans, a first ever look at gameplay was finally revealed for Witchbrook. If this is your first time hearing about the game, Witchbrook is a spellbinding life simulation and social RPG where you will embark on a magical coming-of-age adventure when you enroll as a witch in training at Witchbrook College. Express your own unique aesthetic with customizable clothing, hair, and accessories before attending classes, completing assignments, and earning badges. Brew potent potions, challenge fellow classmates to a broom race, forage for strange mushrooms, and grow whimsical flora and fauna. Then, once you've developed your magical abilities, use what you've learned around the seaside town of Mossport. The gameplay reveal, which was shared in 2 different trailers, truly lived up to and exceeded my personal expectations for this game. The world looks incredible with so much detail to appreciate. The activities we'll be able to enjoy also look like lots of fun, from spellcasting and socializing to decorating and making deliveries around town. The trailer also confirmed that online co-op will be available for up to 4 total players, so that you can share the magical adventure with friends. Following this big reveal, the team announced that they will be sharing more gameplay, details, and fun surprises over the next few months. But in the meantime, we can look forward to the official release window for Witchbrook, which will be coming to PC via Steam, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch in the winter of 2025. I am so happy that the game is finally seeing the light of day after years and years of waiting and hoping that it hadn't been canceled. If you're just as excited as me for this release, be sure to check out my latest video going over both trailers in much more detail, which will be linked in the description for your reference. Coming up this week, Koira, the narrative adventure game telling a wholesome tale of friendship, is releasing for PC via Steam and on PlayStation 5 on April 1st. After befriending a rescued puppy, embark on a magical musical journey together through a beautiful hand-drawn world. Solve puzzles to restore an ancient forest, and take caution to outsmart relentless hunters who lurk in the shadows. And it's finally time for the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which is taking place on April 2nd at 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This presentation will offer a closer look at the next console from Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch 2. If you'd like to prep a little bit ahead of time and get an idea of what we might be able to expect, I'll have a dedicated video linked in the description for you to enjoy. But what will you be playing this week, and what new announcements are you most excited for? Anything and everything, you know I always love hearing from you. Please make sure you're subscribed with your notifications on to catch those weekly episodes of Sunnyside Up. Shine that lovely like button to help support the series. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And until next time, take care.